Topic: the geography of Europe. Let's get right to the topic of today's episode. Europe stretches from the island states of Iceland in the west to the Russian Urals in the east and beyond. Its northernmost point is in the archipelago of Spitsbergen in Norway and can be reached by ferry from Iceland, the Baltic Sea or the Black Sea. Europe is a peninsula of the Eurasian supercontinent bordering the Baltic Sea, the Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea to the east and west, as well as the Atlantic Ocean. The main peninsulas are the Iberian, Italian and Balkan peninsulas, which are located in southern Europe, and Scandinavian Jutland, which is located in northern Europe. The French Atlantic coast stretches from the Urals to the Arctic Ocean and from Russia to the Russian Arctic Circle. The Central European plateaus are surrounded by a large European plain, with the Great European Plain to the north and south. The plains, interrupted by smaller mountain ranges and hills, have fertile agricultural soils and have a rich agricultural history, especially in the Middle East and North Africa. To the east and north lie the Mediterranean, the Black Sea and the Atlantic, as well as the Baltic Sea. Europe can be divided into four major physical regions, stretching from north to south and east to west. The Iberian, Italian and Balkan Peninsula extend south of the Alps. These fertile and highly developed regions border the Mediterranean, the Black Sea and the Atlantic, as well as the Middle East and North Africa. The Western Plateaus, also known as Northern Highlands, encircle the western edge of Europe and are defined by a series of mountains, valleys, as well as by a high mountain range, the Alps. Europe's borders are particularly uncertain, and thus much discussed in the east, where the continent is merged with parts of West Asia, which breaks down physical borders. The western plateaus are characterized by hard, ancient rocks formed by glaciation and a series of mountains, valleys. However, Europe's eastern border is not the Himalayas, which clearly marks the northern border of South Asian civilization. A widely accepted program places Europe and Asia on the same continent, with a continental border on the river Aras and the Turkish border. Another system, supported by many supporters, locates the continental borders at and near the river Aras and its many valleys, bringing Armenia, Azerbaijan and Georgia within Europe. Besides the Ural Mountains, there are several other mountain ranges in Europe, most of them in the southern part of the continent. The Pyrenees, Alps and Carpathians separate the southern alpine region of Europe from the hilly low mountain range and its southern and alpine regions from the northern Alps. The fertile northern European lowlands stretch from the Mediterranean and the Baltic Sea across the Atlantic to the west coast of Europe. It consists of Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Romania, Bulgaria, Croatia, Hungary, Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Greece, Turkey, Austria, Germany, France, Italy, Spain and Hungary. The country is largely flat, with the exception of a small hilly area, including the central Russian highlands, and runs east and west along the eastern shores of the Mediterranean and the Baltic Sea and the Atlantic. The mountains stretch for about 270 miles from the Bay of Biscay to the Mediterranean Sea and form the natural border between France and Spain. The eastern border of Europe is typically referred to as the Ural Mountains, which stretch from Russia and Kazakhstan to the Arctic Ocean to the north and south. The western part of Russia is enclosed by the cities of St. Petersburg and Moscow and is considered part of Europe, while the eastern part, from the Caucasus to the Russian border with Kazakhstan, is considered part of Asia. Europe borders on Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Romania, Hungary, Bulgaria, Croatia, Greece, Italy, Spain, France, Germany, Austria and the Czech Republic. Europe, the second smallest continent in the world, is occupied by three countries, the United States, Russia and the European Union. It consists of a peninsula stretching from the Mediterranean Sea to the west to the Atlantic Ocean and a number of islands in the Indian Ocean. Besides the Ural Mountains, there are several other mountain ranges in Europe, most of them in the southern part of the continent. The eastern border of the continent runs from north to south along the east coast of Russia and ends at the northern Caspian coast. To the north, it borders the Baltic Sea, the Mediterranean and the Indian Ocean, as well as the Black Sea. Europe's southern Alps are divided into hilly low mountain regions and alpine regions by the Pyrenees, Alps and Carpathians. The western highlands of Europe include Austria, Germany, France, Italy, the Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Croatia and Hungary. The southern border is relatively obvious, as the Mediterranean separates Europe from Africa and Europe practically ends through the Strait of Gibraltar and the North Cape. The northern border runs through the Arctic Ocean, which separates northern Europe from America. At the same time, the southern border between Europe and North America ends at the Strait of Malacca, while Europe is separated from Africa by the Atlantic.